What's up, everybody? Welcome to another exciting edition of This Week in Madden, show 88. Here is the deal. Right now, this show is not live because we recorded this on Saturday.
Well, we tried to record on Friday.
Because when we recorded on Friday, there was no audio. So we gave you a sick scheme, and we're about to give you the same exact scheme again, but even better because we refined it.
You know what the worst thing in the world is? Is having to redo something you already did.
And you can see it, but then you just can't hear anything. And then, like, we could voice it over, but that's going to be weird.
Really weird.
So what you're going to see tonight is actually a scheme from the St. Louis Rams.
No, Miami Dolphins defensive playbook.
From the Miami Dolphins defensive playbook. And the Detroit, not the Detroit Lions, the
Houston Texans
offensive playbook.
Mayor of Struggle City.
Guys, this is something I did on the last thing, but you're not going to be able to hear it, so I'm going to do it again. I'm ready to lose. I'm hurt. It's going to be one of my last TWIMs. I'm struggling like the road. I need a hot beverage, so I'm going to take a sip right here before I walk out on this field.
It's the weirdest thing you've ever done.
And I can't do it much longer. So I'm going to need you boys to turn on your Xbox or your PlayStation game console and load the 49ers on offense team, 49ers on defense team, 2 controllers, 1 on each side. Then you got to have heart. You got to select the Houston Texans offensive playbook on one side.
You're kind of going in between Ray Lewis and ZFarls.
Because I'm getting back to ZFarls right here. And on defense, take
the Miami Dolphins
playbook. And we are going to show you a scheme coming up right now. So as you set that up, we're going to talk about the playoff matchups that are about to happen at 4 o'clock and 8:30 today for us, but you guys already know the results. We're going to make our picks.
It's 2 p.m. right now.
We're going to make ridiculous picks because you're going to watch this and think that we knew what happened.
It's 2 p.m. right now. And this is actually Wednesday. You're watching it, and I'm excited for the Patriots versus Texans matchup. Even though I just tweeted today, I said Bengals. I reconfigured my thing, so I'm going to go back on what I just said there too, because I think the Bengals will win. I think the Bengals are going to beat the Texans, and I think that the Ravens will beat the Colts.
I think the Ravens will beat the Colts. Hated a little reverse at the middle, and
I think you'll see Ravens at New England.
Okay.
Bungles at
Seahawks Niners.
Seahawks Niners.
You think Seahawks are gonna beat the Skins?
I don't think. No. I think Seahawks beat the Skins. Seahawks go and play.
If the Seahawks win, they go to Hotlanta.
They go to Hotlanta.
Yeah.
Right, and then Niners play Packers.
Correct.
I think. Is that right?
The Packers will have to travel to the Niners.
Yes.
Because the Seahawks caught that baloney pass.
I think you get Niners, Seahawks, NFC chip.
Yep.
Niners, Super Bowl. Then I think you get Patriots, Broncos,
blah, blah, blah,
AFC
Pats,
chip,
blah, blah, blah,
Pats, Super Bowl, Pats,
got it,
Niners,
got it,
Pats,
got
win,
it, got
bowl.
it. Okay,
Tom
so
go. At this point, you should have your discs.
Yeah, you should
loaded.
have your discs loaded up. Niners on both teams. Houston offense. Miami defense. You're going to get a scheme tonight for offense and defense, and we're going to show you how to stop probably the most popular play in the game,
and
most
then we have
popular
a game
concept.
of the week coming up against SDWhite, the Great, which we already played. Because things got weird, we had to retape things, revoice.
Yeah, we hadn't played it once we recorded, but then we played that, and we had to voice that over. So you actually get double commentary on that, and then we're going to do that.
Things got weird without.
We were in a vortex. We got caught in a vortex, a twin vortex. But so right now, the reason that we're giving you this archive show, even though it's fresh, all fresh, brand new content, is we are in Florida right now at EA. We're working on NCAA feedback, so we're giving
NCAA 14.
our feedback on NCAA Football 14. And then we also went down there to watch the national championship game at the studio, and also we are playing our Virgin Gaming Challenge Series game right now.
Right now.
So
wish me luck.
We wanted to be in that mindset. We didn't want to play it on the show because then it's all messy. So you're going to get a fresh new scheme right now. Load into game.
All right, so when we jump into game here, we're going to take a look at the 4-3 under. This is the formation.
4-3 under.
The defensive little scheme, mini scheme here is going to come from, and it all stems from one play. That play is edge sting, pound for pound, one of the better base defensive plays in the game. So we'll select that. Farl's going to grab an empty set, gun spread. You do the same thing at home.
Guys, grab a piece of paper, write down 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Write down 5 numbers. and you'll see why shortly. This play, edge stink from 4-3 under, it is really going to get under your opponent's skin.
Oh,
Crack myself up.
Good one, Farls. So, first and foremost, the reason this play is effective is if you have the 3-3-5 guide that we put out earlier this year, this blitz angle by the linebacker is super effective. It's one of the fastest blitz angles in the game. He kind of like gets catapulted out of his defensive stance, and that's why we like to take advantage of that specific blitz angle. So stock, that's part of the reason why we like this play. And to get this, our first setup, so this is number 1 through 5. What you need to do to write this down for your setup is to re-blitz the left of screen defensive tackle. That's it. Done. And then snap of the ball, you go. We're trying to generate quick A-gap pressure. As far as audible down to, give me Texan wide drag. Not that, no.
Okay.
Texan wide drag, please. Because that's going to get you under center. And yes, this blitz is very effective. Very effective against shotgun sets, but look how much better it is when you're facing against under center. So the heat's gonna get to you quick, it's gonna get on you quick.
Yeah, almost before you stop your drop, and that's a key to under center formations is when your quarterback's setting his feet, he wants to be able to throw, but this guy's coming in, he's trying to step back up and throw, and it kind of met me right as I stopped my
drop. Go to that
drop.
other gun formation you went to, whatever you
Texans dig here.
Yeah, so what this is also good for, too, is a lot of times, you don't face empty sets. You might face a set where there's a halfback out of the backfield. So I'll user him. So if the halfback goes on a wheel, yeah, I'll go out and cover him out of the backfield, but the pressure's still going to be good. So here I am covering the halfback, and you can see right up the A-gap, we get that pressure. This is a base setup. Really good 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2 situations. It's good in the red zone. Love it in the red zone. And again, the best part about it is the setup is extremely quick. And there's re-blitzing one guy. You can get more advanced with it. So what I would say more advanced is maybe yellow the outside guys, right? Maybe yellow everybody in the field, right? You know the pressure's coming in hot, right? Yellow everybody. Make them force a throw, and you have the pressure coming, and it's going to be difficult for the routes to get downfield on this blitz.
And so this is my question to SGibs, and we talked about this when we had initially taped the show. Why do you have to re-blitz the defensive tackle? Don't re-blitz him and watch what happens.
Well, when you don't re-blitz him, it's not always. It's sometimes, if you don't re-blitz the defensive tackle, it'll cause that pressure to come in off the
So here it is just standard.
It's not every time. You'll see that it'll still, for the most part, still come in through the A-gap. But if I don't re-blitz him, if you block a guy, if you slide protect, whatever you do can affect.
Now we get picked up.
Well, it's because you block the guy, but
yeah.
I'm saying more so there's specific times if you don't block, if you don't re-blitz this defensive end, you can get sometimes the pressure will come in off the edge.
Yeah, we had a really good example of we didn't re-blitz, or we did re-blitz the defensive tackle. I blocked somebody from a different formation, and the edge pressure, rather than the A-gap, slid right off and got me. Whereas when we didn't do that, it didn't happen that way. So
and the edge pressure is fine, and you don't even you don't have to always you don't have to re-blitz this guy because someone's getting free because it's still 6 guys against 5. So, but we just like to have that pressure, the unique pressure coming through that A-gap. And like I said, you're still going to get the majority of the time, even if you don't re-blitz that defensive tackle, you're still going to get the majority of the time he's going to come in through the A-gap.
But you want to do it, and it's a fast setup. So that's setup 1.
That's setup number 1. And don't forget, you can also call press, especially on Xbox. You're going to get press all over the field. That just makes this play that much better, in my opinion.
So setup 2 is an interesting one. I like it the most because
really gas them up.
What really happens with this is anytime you send 6 blitzers, you're obviously going to get 1 free against a 5-man line because 6 minus 5 is 1. But anytime you can send 6 rushers and get 2 free, that's 6. That would mean 4 linemen in theory, but obviously they have 5. You're basically freeing up somebody. So in a situation where they block a halfback, you send 6 and you get 2 free. The halfback then crushes one of their guys. You're still getting 1 free. So 3rd and long, they're blocking a halfback, they want to go downfield. You send 2 free, one of them gets picked up, but the other one comes in free and they're not expecting it. So that's why having a secondary option like this, where if they do block somebody, send 6, get 2 free, works.
So here's the way we set that up is the first thing we do is we spread the defensive line. We crash it out. And then we slide this blitzing linebacker over the left edge, like it's almost like a 4-3 stack, right? Then we re-blitz the defensive end on the right side of the screen. That's all we do, and then we would user, in this case, we'd use the tight end. Because the tight end's probably going to go a route over the middle, streak, something like that, and we sit on him, and we're going to get 2 guys free after the quarterback. So go to instant replay and take a look. And what Farls was saying that's so beneficial about this is that if you do get a guy that blocks one receiver or a halfback, you're still going to get a guy in free.
So go back about 2 seconds right there. So right here. And remember how I said we sent 6. In the first setup, we sent 6. We got 1 free, and it was in the A-gap. So 6 defenders, 5 linemen. Here, look what happened. 6 defenders. We get 2 free, so who's missing? Well, the center's not blocking anybody.
Right.
And that is why it's so important to use this setup, because then if they do block the halfback, one of those guys will get picked up, and I'll show you that here. I'll block a tight end, and we're still going to be able to throw downfield. The center's not going to be occupied, so that is important.
And don't forget, the pressure off this edge comes in hot because of that blitz angle. It's very different from most blitz angles in the game. That's a very quick. Here's the thing. You might be sitting here at home watching it and might not understand the quickness of how fast that blitz angle gets on you. It gets on you so quick that, like, I've faced this blitz in game, and I've even thought, like, oh, I can get rid of it quick. I can get my reads down, I can throw, but it gets on you much quicker. It's like a half a second quicker than any other blitz angle in the game.
So I blocked the Vernon Davis here. It's 6 against 5, so I block either Vernon or a halfback in some cases.
But we isolate the center.
We picked up 1, so 6 minus 4 because the center's not doing anything. Vernon adds another 1, so 6 on 5. We get 1 free again, and the center should obviously be blocking him, but obviously he can't. So we're all set. So that's our second setup. And Gibbs, go slowly over that one more time.
Yeah, so again, this is our second setup. We spread the defensive line.
L1, left stick up.
We crash the defensive line up.
L1, right stick up.
Slide this linebacker on the blitz angle out left.
Use the D-pad.
And re-blitz McDonald.
Down on the D-pad.
Yep, and then you're done.
And you're set.
And you use the guy in the halfback or the tight end in this case.
So I would think you'd have to do something crazy, and then still a very uncomfortable style blitz. And doesn't even get picked up when I slid left.
Here's another a little tidbit for you on this too. We talked about this in the other breakdown, but when I run the setup, don't get cute with Smith here. Don't try oh, I gotta make sure he's not offside, blah blah blah. I gotta make sure he's perfect because that's gonna delay everything. Well, all you need to do is you can just take him right here and throw him right
Chuck
here,
and
then click off, and the game resets him for you.
Onsides, hike, fire.
He'll always be on sides. So just chuck him. That's all you need. Just chuck him and get off him. So let me show you how I would really set it up. I'd set it up like this. Crash out. I usually will blitz him first. Then I get him over, and I just go like this. Click off, and then I'm done. And then I just try and sit on somebody, make a play. Goldson!
So that's a very important note. Don't feel like, oh, well, where should he be? What should he do? There's somebody here. Chuck him. Boom, you're good. Write that down next to setup 2. Spread out, crash out, or up. Re-blitz the defensive end on the right side of the screen, not the guy standing up, the guy over the right tackle. That's very important because of the way the formation is. And then Chuck Smith, right there.
Chuck him. Just chuck him.
Setup 3,
yep.
Another great one.
So now setup 3 is, the first setup we brought A-gap pressure. The second setup we brought send 6, get left and get right pressure.
There was a sale on blitzes.
Yeah.
We send 6, we got 2 free.
Yeah.
I'm on fire today.
And then our third setup is going to be to get pressure off the left edge only. So what we'll do here is spread the defensive line, crash it out, take Smith, chuck him. Now on the right side, instead of re-blitzing McDonald at the end, we're going to quarterback spy. And then you have the linebacker. I want you to place him on a purple, a yellow, a deep zone, man him up on someone else, whatever you want. I typically do a purple.
Dealer's choice.
And then I'll user Willis. And now we're setting 4 after the quarterback, and we're going to get 1 free. That blitz angle, as you see, is gastric.
It's fire.
Instant replay. So now we're going to send only 4, get pressure off the left edge, and we're going to have a little bit better coverage on the play. As you see, we drop a purple, there's a spy, a little bit better coverage, and you see the pressure is hot.
So you lost Big Vern there.
Lost Big Vern.
So let's do a yellow and show how we can kind of differ our coverages.
Okay.
So here we saw that Vernon Davis was actually going out on a route, and we're going to actually kind of hold the outside edge with him and kind of watch Willis on the inside. But, I mean, once again, the pressure's fast.
I need to make a better user on that.
the pressure's so quick, I just chucked it. Thankfully, I think it got picked up.
So here's again. I like the purple better, but here it is. Snap, go, and as you can see, if
tackle's recovering,
Farls is forced to get rid of the ball, and that's where this blitz comes into hand. I personally like the purple. That's just me, but here it is again. Snap the ball, go. As you can see, I think the purple does a little better job holding that guy over there too. So as you can see, this blitz is hot, straight fire, hot cheddar. That's our setup number 3.
So write that down.
And now
spread, crash out, Chuck, Smith, spy, purple or yellow or whatever.
Yep. And then you're done. Pick.
So there, the blitz came in. I got jacked up. I chucked it to Vern, but I was getting hit, so the spy actually picked it off. Here's another big thing about this play, and this is what you're going to see a lot of, and this is what happens a lot online. I'm going to roll away from the pressure once I see where it's coming from. The spy is going to do a really good job of tracking me. So I might see this at the snap. I'm like, oh, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. And obviously Smith's fast, but the spy was not really giving me a place to run either. And you don't really have time to hang out and circle and swoop like people do online because you're running for your life.
Gastric. So that's setup number 3.
So write that down. Here's setup 4.
Setup 4 is going to be the opposite, send pressure off the right edge. So what we do here again is spread the defensive line, crash it out. We're going to throw Smith over here again. This time we're going to buzz zone him. Purple this guy, this defensive end on the left side of the screen.
QB spy.
Yeah, and then re-blitz McDonald on the right side of the defensive end, on the right side of the screen. And now we're going to generate pressure off the right edge. So now you can see it's coming. This scheme is coming full circle. So now setup 3 is send pressure left. Setup 4 is send pressure right. So that one more time. Spread the line, crash it out, swing Smith, buzz, hook, deep, whatever you want. The other defensive end left of the screen, QB spy. McDonald, re-blitz up the right end on the right of the screen. Snap the ball. We're going to generate pressure off the right edge.
I think earlier the reason the setup was working, so I wasn't moving I just stood there with the quarterback. But if a natural human would move around, that off the right's quick.
Yeah. So it's a different blitz angle, but it comes in hot, as you can see. Boop. Comes in direct path to the quarterback. So you can see how this blitz is working. We get great pressure from it. Pretty good coverage. Everyone's manned up. And that's our setup number 4. Then we also, of course, have setup number 5. The last setup is what we call passive pressure. What I mean by passive pressure is we're going to try and get the most coverage possible. And with this, we typically are saying just take Smith and throw him over there. Well, what you want to do here is spread the defensive line, crash it out, take this blitz angle, and you want to chuck him deep. Like
you want to get him wide, pretty much over the slot.
Very wide. And then both interior D tackles, you drop into purples. The defensive end on the right side of the screen, you drop into a quarterback spy. The blitzing linebacker, deep zone.
Oh, yeah.
And then you use your
patty cakes.
Halfback on the tight end or the halfback.
So this won't send anybody free, but it is gonna be hectic.
Yeah, you get those nice.
You're gonna get a good rush, and everybody's gonna be
good coverage.
Pretty covered.
And this isn't a defense or set up to generate heavy pressure. It's a defense to have a solid pass rush with only rushing 2 guys, but then still have great coverage behind it.
And what's really good is it's versatile. So say, you're getting beat by a streak in the slot, and
that deep zone is pretty good right there too.
Yeah, and the deep zone's going to kind of like stay inside of that. Say you're getting beat by Vernon Davis on a zig, then you could maybe that purple might do a good job, or it really. It doesn't have to be always 2 purples. I like it personally because I think it does give you great coverage. But
I mean, you could do this.
You could do different things.
You could go deep.
Yeah.
And then
if they're really beating you in the seam with 2 tight ends,
hook,
deep. You go yellow if they're running like crosses or whatever. So that's what I wanted you to get out of that. Is this is a coverage defense? You have
flexibility of those.
When you're only rushing 2, you have 3 or 4 extra guys to work with.
You could double spy.
You could double spy if they're shaking you, if they're playing with somebody fast. So just, make adjustments, but I'd say one of the probably most standard setups is the way we initially had it, either with 2 spies or with the spy as a deep.
I like that double spy with double purples. I like that a lot. Patty cakes. Boop. So that's our setup number 5. And those are 1 through 5. And go again. 1 is, we'll show you each one quick here.
Okay, so setup 1 is just stock, but if you can re-blitz the defensive tackle straight down.
A-gap pressure.
Fires in.
Fumble. Fumble Rooski.
Setup deuce.
Setup do is double pressure left and right, is spread line, crash out, throw Smith, chuck him, re-blitz the D on the right, done, go, double pressure off both edges, cow. That's a great red zone blitz. That's a great blitz when they're blocking a halfback. Setup 3, pressure left only, spread line, crash it out, chuck Smith, spy McDonald, buzz, do whatever you want.
And this is going to be more effective when you've already, brought it one way, because here's what I would do if I was you. I would try and block somebody over here, and I'd try and roll, look right or something because of the way the heat was. I'd roll this way, but you're not got a purple sitting underneath the out.
Right.
Gotcha.
So that's setup 3. Setup 4 is going to be pressure off the right edge, and that's spread line, crash line out, re-blitz McDonald, buzz Smith, chuck. All in the blitz angle, put him on a buzz.
Obviously, chucking him is least important. The most important is getting the right side set up properly. I'm going to slide left because I'm sick of Alden Smith eating my lunch, but it'll work either way. But just an example of how mind games of bringing it left, bringing it right is going to screw up your opponent. And anytime you drag Alden Smith out there,
they know.
It is really annoying. You're like, he's probably sending the lunch.
Yeah, so then you have Smith there, and then setup 5 is our passive aggressive pressure. We're going to get a good blitz angle from Smith over here. You get him as wide as possible. I mean, I'm saying, yeah, if you can get him out there, get him out there, because the wider that he is on this play, the better it is for your defense. So now the play runs, we got our coverage, and as you can see, see how he kind of like warped in. Go back to that. I want to see that. He like warped in there. He like warped in. That was weird. But that's our setup number 5, the passive aggressive pressure.
Because he was loose. But anytime you get this angle, look how hard he's fighting. Fight! And then he breaks his arm and he lets him go. He gronks his arm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this guy ripped in from that wide angle.
So that's the beauty of the edge thing.
The beauty and the beat of the edge thing.
And here's the best part about this whole defense. I could run any of this defense from any play. So if I come out and edge sting, quick audible to cover 2, and now look, I can run the same play from this setup. You're not gonna have that blitz angle, but that's okay because look, I can still have the same pressure. Go ahead.
This would be setup 4. Setup 3. Setup 3.
Setup 3.
Just pressure right.
Mm-hmm. As you can see, pressure rolls in, Brown goes, pick. And the same thing applies. You can see I can run cover 3, right? And I can run cover 3 pressure up.
How are you quick audibling so fast?
XX left.
So on Xbox, it's XX right on the left on the right stick is cover 3. PlayStation, it's square, right on the left stick will get you into other audibles. Here, SGibs has made a cover 4 by dropping that that deep zone with Whitner. He's usually in a yellow, but Gibs put him in there to really protect deep. This is I like to protect deep. If it's 3rd and 15, I'll send it both ways. I'll drop that yellow into a deep.
You know what I call this? I call this a cover 7. Why? Let me explain why.
Because you got cover 6 plus cover 4.
So here's a cover 3 shell. Then you add Whitner in here. Whitner creates a cover 4 deep zone combination on the left.
Yeah.
And then on the right you have a cover 3 combination. That's how they get the math of a cover 6 because you have cover 4, cover 2. This is a cover 7.
I like it.
You like that? That's a real thing.
That's pretty cute.
It's cover 7.
I'm rolling here. Yeah. Spy's kind of annoying.
So now that's the beauty of what you can do with this formation, flexibility. You can run any of these plays.
So you're saying I can ask you for, I want 2 man under.
Yeah.
Setup 5.
Setup 5. Okay, sure. Get
so
out there.
With cover 2, you don't want to press. With 2 man under, you don't want to press because you already get a good press. So this is it. So he's in 2 man under. He did the passive aggressive. He's bringing 2 left. He's got a purple, spy, purple, spy, and now he's ready to use her. So this would be cover 5, 2 man under.
Aggressive. Yeah.
I'm trying to pass lead. Big Vern!
But Willis doesn't jump.
In your face!
He didn't jump.
Okay, give me Cover 2, setup 2. So XX, right stick right. He's going to spread. This is going to be heavy. This is probably a red zone style defense if you think about it, because the flats, that's where guys like to go. If you have time, you're going to want to drag those deep zones down over the slots, but there, the pressure. Yep. The next thing I want is a cover 3, setup 1.
Cover 3, setup 1. It won't be as good. Keep in mind.
Yeah, the blitz angle is key with the edge sting. So yeah, setup 1 is best with the edge sting blitz angle, but
you can still get it.
Still rip through. So that is a very, very nice defensive scheme from SGibs from the 4-3 under.
A lot of flexibility there.
Dolphins playbook, edge sting, and then you have the ability for all the different coverages.
Right.
First person to take a picture of the paper that they just wrote down, free guide, free defensive.
The first one that sends it to
guide
your email.
To my email. ZFarls and SGibs.com.
Can someone put that in the chat? Someone type that in the chat.
Yeah, someone type that in the chat.
I can't virtually type it on the chat. It's Saturday. I can't virtually type it.
I need a Wolfman to type that in the chat.
I know Wolf.
I know
Wolf will do it. Wolf's got it. ZFarls at madtips.com. Wolf will do it. Don't even say anything else. Wolf's got it.
I like Doc in the chat. Doc's new guy, clutch.
That's Your Fault's pretty good too. So I know he's in the chat.
Yeah.
I know Buffalo Rob's probably in the chat.
Yep.
All those guys. So they can take care of it for us. But Wolf's got it. I got faith.
You're confident. Send me the picture of the 5 things you just wrote down. Guide.
And that's,
first person.
That'll be the defensive portion. Now let's go to the offensive portion.
So now you're going to get an offensive scheme.
Houston Texans offensive playbook. Now, convert your mind. You're in defense. Now, flip, turn the switch on, go offense. And let's set our audibles because the audibles are...
If you want to do that, just go to practice mode, flip sides, and grab the other controller.
So what we're doing here, first audible is goal line QB sneak. Really important to have.
How do you catch a unique rabbit?
QB sneak?
Unique up on it. QB sneak, first audible, goal line.
That was the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
Pretty good joke.
Yeah.
Chat, press 1 if you like that joke. They liked it.
Yeah. Let me check. Yeah. No, they don't. So the second audible is ace close stretch. Love this play.
Later in the game of the week, watch how we use this HB stretch. We'll talk a lot about it.
Gun split close. Fullback trail. Next audible. Gun bunch. Where are you? Gun bunch. Dirticals. 4 dirticals.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Instead of
love it.
Verticals.
4 verts. And then I know we talked about having other plays in here, but I know you really, I'll give it to you because I know you like it. I know you like it a lot. The halfback slip screen, gun 2 back.
Okay.
Complement everything else. So those are your audibles.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. And then your base play comes from the gun tight doubles on. You're going to come out in the play bench, okay? But that's not your base play. Your base play is actually going to be Texan cross.
But we don't come out in Texas cross because we can quickly audible to it by, I think it's XX right on the right stick. So don't waste the play because if you come out in Texas cross and you want to call bench, you can't. But if you come out in bench and you want to call Texas cross, you're good. Even though you're going to call Texas cross maybe 75%, still come out and bench.
So
get in good habits.
Farrell's going to come out in cover 3. And I'm going to show you the base setup. So quick audible right gives me to my base play, wide receiver cross. So the base play, you want to set this up, the base setup is to streak Y, streak A, and to drag the B receiver and block the halfback. That's your base setup right here. And what you're looking to do is you're looking to target these inside streaks to the A receiver and to the, just go down, please, for the love of
I pitched, I scored 100 last night in a ranked game, and I pitched the ball on a return.
Awesome. Cool story, bro.
To Patty Wills. It was fantastic.
So the idea is, again, you want to just target these streaks so you can see how effective they are against zone coverage. And on Xbox 360, 2-man under is going to really hurt this style play, but on PS3, I mean, the same rules apply. I mean, you're just looking to user catch these streaks in the interior part of the field and make them pay, essentially. Make them forced to defend these 2 routes, which are very difficult to defend. I mean, there's a reason this is the formula that all the top guys are using this year: double streaks, double wheels.
Even if you user this and you get caught behind with Willis, like, I'm only 2 yards behind, but he's just threw the ball right. He just threw the ball right now and clicked on. Click. Click.
Boom.
My hips turn the wrong way. I'm caught. Like I just can't get in.
Right. So that's the base setup, and you can see that, say those reads are taken away. What I really like about this is you have the underneath drag. You can lead that upfield, and you get a good amount of yards.
You can also playmaker it by using L2 in the right stick to playmaker it back upfield if things break down. Because what's going to happen is, here's what's going to happen.
Coverage. So things break down, I playmaker it upfield, and then he gets in that nice tender spot of the field. The secondary layer where the deep routes are pulling the zones away. So here it is again. The playmaker on this drag is nice. You get him here, and then you playmaker him upfield, and then you just try and chuck it to him and try and complete the pass.
But it's more of a coverage. It's more of like a coverage style.
It's really good against man-to-man.
Yeah.
It's good against man-to-man. So if you run man-to-man here, so if you run a man-to-man, two-man under does a good job taking away those streaks, right?
Yeah.
But the problem with this drag is you playmaker it upfield, and as you can see how badly that destroys man-to-man.
Yeah, because with man-to-man, they follow their routes and they don't pay attention. I mean, I'll lay a hit stick, but whatever. But
you didn't do it. It's computer hit stick.
Whatever.
Computer miners.
Kim, 1 in the chat if you think that was a computer hit stick. 2 in the chat if you know it was Farls. Just mind.
So there's a dilemma you have on defense. Zone is going to do a good job at containing the drag and even kind of slowing down the crabtree route, right?
Yep.
Man-to-man is going to do a good job of taking away the streaks. So the problem is you kind of need like a hybrid to defend both these options.
One other thing that's very important is the further the ball is, that's what's going to happen. You see, the further the ball is back, so if we had more room, I might be able to take away, because you saw me, I got one with Willis, but I was really underselling it, like really playing it short. Watch this. If, Vernon Davis, he's going to be able to go deep. If I sit here, the further it goes downfield, the more that happens. And then they can just lay it out, and Ted Yinn's got wheels.
So let me show you that, something that you guys are probably all very familiar with if you run a bear defense. Call 46 bear, cover 3. A very popular defense this year, right? Well, this style of attack absolutely destroys.
Because look where the safety goes when you base a line.
Teddy Ballgame Ginn is a monster here, because look what happens. How many of you have experienced that this year? A lot. I know that's the strength of this style of defense or this offense is that seam is so tender against the cover 3.
It's like Kobe beef.
It is. It's so tender. I mean, it's not just like a one-time thing that you can do. You can see how consistent that is. I mean, that's very, very consistent.
So now I have to do this, probably, and now the middle's going to be real tender. If they just quick throw right inside, that happens.
Now that's tender.
So that's the cat and mouse game you play with a play like this. And some other plays that you'll see players use from this
the worst thing is this right here. You get beat right there.
Play like Pat's wheel drag.
Drag cross-ups in Carolina.
And a play from Carolina, drag cross-ups, which you'll see later. That is...
These are plays that are like this.
And now we have it from Texas Cross, which we used last year, Falcon Cross, as the best play in the game. It's always good. It's always good.
For different reasons. Like last year, we loved the cut up on this route by the X receiver. Remember how last year against man-to-man, you'd throw it like right about like here. Because like he would cut up.
He would beat him in man-to-man. He'd smash him.
And now this year, it's more of a graduated thing. He gets inside position. You throw a TCP pass lead. So it's last year you'd throw it. I'll show you. You throw it right there. Now you wait for him to get inside position, click on, and catch it. Right.
Different beast.
So that's the base formula of running that play. But another way you can set this up is you would streak Y and A. And I like the B receiver here because he gets lost a lot. He gets like lost in translation. You go with him, and then you can sneak him under there. It's another
because I cleared deep with Ginn.
You cleared deep, and then that leaves that deep post underneath. And then of course you also have the underneath option here to Frank Gore out of the backfield. That's a great outlet. If they do blitz, you can dump that ball out in the flat, which is guys are running bear, right? Run your typical bear blitz off the right edge, Farls. Guys run bear. And you got to know that if the pressure comes out that right edge, well, guess what? You have a great outlet to the right here to beat the bear blitz.
Same thing. Your left's tender for any type of run. Again, your right for quick passes.
So he said, the typical bear blitz, sending pressure off the right edge. Oh, I blocked the halfback, so that won't work.
Nope.
Classic. So here it is, just so you can see it. The typical bear blitz is that right there, and look how great of a bear blitz beater that is.
Perfect.
Fabulous. It's fabulous.
Perfect.
And don't forget, you can also run these underneath drag, these crossing patterns. There's no reason you can't like those as a nice change of pace. Like you're just drilling them over the middle of the field with the drags or with the streaks. Why not every once in a while check down to these drags and think and dunk them, make them have to respect that too. There's a lot of things you can do. What's
really good is obviously you have bench bonus from the play bench, which you can't give away because it's in our guide and it's classic. But so what'll happen is, to say I start doing this, because I'm just sick of getting beat in the seam. Bench is a great way for just call it, and
it's a great way to attack outside.
Now you can attack outside because you really are working the middle of the field. But that's another good thing about the wheel route. Wheel route works you outside back in.
Yeah.
That's going to work you inside then out. So because what's really hard about this is I think that Ginn's running that streak that he's been running all game.
Right.
For the first 10 steps of his route, but then he cuts out and attacks it. Whereas the drag, they're going out, and then you're going to find them later. So
yeah, the bench here is just a pain in the neck to defend.
And it's a 1 in every 5 times, and but it works.
The play calling of it is important. You'll see later in the game of the week, SDWhite the Great, how he hits me with it at select times and how effective it is when you call at the right time. So that's the base setup of that. And what I wanted to show, 2 different ways that I think we can defend this. So, Farls, you take the stick on offense, you run the base setup of it, right? And defensively, I have cover 3. This is something new that I actually labbed last night that I think does a pretty good job.
See, if we had audio,
quick audible right,
if we had audio yesterday, you wouldn't got this.
So streak the.
I'd be home in my bed.
Right. So streak the guys, drag B, block the halfback. So this is what I'm going to tell you to do. I think this is going to do a pretty good job at stopping it. 46 bear under cover 3. I don't want you to press, because part of the problem this formation faces is that when you press, that deep safety goes there, which opens up that left slot.
Can of worms.
So don't press, all right? You don't need a baseline because the guys are in position. So what I want you to do is to global blitz the right linebacker, which is going to be Brooks right here. Global blitz him. Then I want you to take the defensive lineman to the left of him, drop him into a buzz zone. Then I want you to spy the D tackle over the center. This defender, you need to do your depth chart so that's a faster guy than Smith, but I want you to man him up on the left slot. Then I want you to man Willis up on the right tight end. And then I want you to use your Whitner. So this does a pretty good job at stopping the streaks. They get inside position on the streaks, and then you can see the wheel is defended against by that purple, and then it's my job, my responsibility.
Let's go on wheel just for the pressure.
It's my responsibility to get to the wheel. Whatever side the wheel is on, I got to get to it. So the pressure's going to be pretty solid off that edge, right? The streaks are kind of taken away because I got inside coverage, right? That's going to be a tough throw. You can't really lob it anymore to Ginn because my deep safety's playing the deep secondary. I have the purple, which is dropping.
For right now.
It drops just enough.
Yeah, ready? So, no. Yes, I was throwing it. Boom, pressure. And boom, your guy was kind of getting there. So
right. So let me show you that again.
Yeah.
So it's 4-6 bear under cover 3. Global blitz right. Purple. Spy. Man up on the left slot. Patty Willis. Man up on the right slot, which in this case is Davis. And then I run with Whitner. Farrell sets the play up. I got to find where. No. Quick audible right. I got to find the wheel. Where's the wheel? Where's the wheel? Snap. Snap. Oh, wheels on the left. Wheels on the left. Go. And I'll live with that.
And it will be faster than Justin Smith. So.
But that's I'll live with that. So even if you run the flip the play. So Farrell's gonna and then quick audible to it. But so Farrell's gonna run the play on the opposite side. So watch how this works, right? So now, where's the wheel? I got to find the wheel. Where's the wheel? Where's the wheel? Snap the ball. I don't see it.
And this is big by the hash mark because you obviously want to go to the open side.
This is a universal setup that'll work on either side of the field. And again, I will live with that. I'll live with that defense because I feel like it's pretty stout defense against it. It's one way you can try and defend this setup.
So we're teaching you the play. We're teaching you a new way to run this play that everyone's running, whether it's drag cross-ups or pass wheel drags or this Falcon cross style, Texans cross, wide receiver cross, blah, blah, blah.
But it starts with defending the interior streaks.
Yes, because those are a burden,
and
especially on PlayStation.
You need to have man-to-man defense that gets inside position against those streaks. You have to.
Correct.
And when you man them up from the inside like this, you get the inside position.
mixed it up there, but
So that's our one way you can do it. And the other way, which I really like, is from like a 2-man under, which in this case I would say dime 2-man under. And then Farls comes right back out in it.
Guys, this is some ridiculously high-level defense for some of the plays that you'll be seeing if you play in a big tournament. So,
but it's still needed. It's
very important. This is a very good TWIM.
So if you're going to face the wheel on the left side of the field, I would say take dime 2-man under, bring down Whitner, reblitz him off the right edge, spy the D-tackle, purple this D-tackle, deep zone Smith, and here's the creme de la creme of this. You got a shade coverage left. When you shade coverage left, that deep zone sits right where that wheel goes.
And it'll be a guy faster than Smith.
So here's the snap of the ball. I'm going to get solid pressure off that right edge. Deep zone. 3 guys on him. Yeah, he came down with it, but
you take it.
The formula has been created. Now I want you guys to help me. I want you guys to help me because it's difficult to defend this stuff.
Help me help you.
Right. So I've laid the foundation. You run with it and make it better. All right. So 3 guys on him. You got inside position on these guys. You might have getting deep there. I got to recover a little bit better there.
And you'll see us run this later. We faced drag cross-ups in the game of the week against SDWhite the Great, and we had labbed this yesterday on the show before we played the game of the week the first time with audio or without audio. But you'll see Gibs, he struggles to sometimes get that safety down. Sometimes he can do it. Sometimes the throw still happens anyway. Sometimes it works. Sometimes he switches his play. So you'll see the great chess match of stopping a play like this in a scheme that people are using. And we can use your help if you can add anything onto this, or if you see a better formation for some reason that works better. But this is a great start to this play, and let us know what you think.
So one more time, Farls runs it. My thing I like about this, though, is that the wheel is kind of taken away, the streaks are taken away. My biggest concern is the snap lob like that, and I got to try and get back. That's my biggest concern with this setup. Now, I know some of you guys might be saying, well, what if they run a wheel to the right? Okay, well, that's fine. Now you just would flip the setup of this. You would run Goldson here, so this is like a pass wheel drag, because pass wheel drag has double wheels, right? So you flip the setup. Now you just do it the opposite way. And now that wheel will be taken away. And I got to get deep. I got to get deep. I got to get deep. And see how the wheel, for the most part, is taken away. A lot of guys on that wheel. Swap. So that's how I would say our starting point of defending.
So, sorry for giving you a really good play, and then sorry for telling you how to stop it, kind of.
Kind of. It's still difficult to stop.
It's still super hard to stop. It's still like a lot you got to do, and you got to be good because you got to make a lot of adjustments. And that's one, if you're a newer player and you're like, this is not helping me, this will help you because we pretty much ran every play in the game in our playbook to try and figure out what the heck can we do. Okay, this should work, but it doesn't for some reason. Oh, because the drag is causing the purple zone not to cover the wheel.
Probably lab.
But if I do this, then what would happen? Oh, okay.
I probably spent about 100 hours in the past 2 or 3 weeks trying to find a solid defense for this play, for this route.
Because you play somebody that runs it and you lose, it's going to be your fault because you should know that it's going to be a popular play.
It's how good it is, though. If you're playing in the Virgin Gaming Tournament tonight,
right now,
you're probably facing it. So Farls comes out and just anything here. Doesn't matter, dime, 2-man under, just anything.
Just going to load up the lineup.
So now let's go to the other audibles. Don't forget you have a halfback draw from that set, which is really nice. You can come out in, so you can drop somebody too.
Yeah.
So you're gonna start playing coverage, which is nice. So you can mix it in halfback draw, sneak it in. It's a nice compliment. Get in the end zone, touchdown, Frank Gore, touchdown.
So here are the rest of our audibles for the offensive scheme. I know we went back to D for a second, but
the first audible is QB sneak. And this, you'll see part of the reason why I like QB sneak later, but I think QB sneak is great in the red zone. It's great. How many times do you get a 3rd and inches, 4th and inches, and you're in a no-huddle situation and you just you don't know what play to call because you want to run it, but and you also don't want to pass because you only need an inch. Well, there's no better play in the game than a QB sneak for an inch.
And just do it quick.
Do it quick.
Guys, QB sneaks, I'll be honest, they're not foolproof this year. Actually, you'll hear later, I played SDWhite the Great and I goofed up and ran it 3 QB sneaks on the 2nd one, 3rd one, 4th one, and I ran them too fast. I don't know. But if they're not ready for it, you'll see when Gibs runs it later how he does it. If they're in goal line and you come out slow in QB sneak and they run commit, it's
that's all you need, though.
Sometimes you get Stallworth, though.
But sometimes you get stuck, but yes.
Yeah.
But I'm saying there's no better 3rd and inches play in the game. No better 3rd
when they're not ready.
In general. That's all I need.
No, when they're not ready.
Okay, keep doing what you're doing because it's working. No, it's not. You're not going to stop me. For an inch? For an inch? Keep doing it.
That you would have not got it because you were on top of dudes.
Go ahead. Keep doing whatever you got to do, Farls.
Like you didn't get that.
Yes, I did. I got
no way.
I got an inch, dude.
Who was with it? If you think he got that in the chat, give me a 1. If you don't think he did, give me a 2.
I got an inch there. I got like 5 yards.
Possibly. I'm saying if they're not ready, go for it. But if they're goal line and they do this,
yeah, that's part of it.
That's what you do. That's what you do. That's what you do.
You hit a power O.
That's what you do.
Cat and mouse game because once you do that QB sneak a couple times, then they're gonna catch on. Oh, he's sneaking.
I'm just saying it's 99%. It's not 100,000%.
So now he thinks QB sneak run commit. Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Power O to the face.
And the power O is also 99% if they run commit. It's cash.
Right. But the other part of the reason I like this is that I love this play in the red zone here. It's called PA spot. Quick out of the left from this formation. And you're going to see what I like about it is you have the slant out on the right with the underneath flat. And what I really like here is to fade Crabtree. You've seen me do this a bunch of times, right? Fade Crabtree, and I snap, and I throw it to him. And he gets a nice tender spot in the field where I can kind of complete that pass at a high percentage.
Does a good stutter step thing that allows you to kind of throw it and the ball doesn't lead like it normally would if you streak them.
Right.
So it's good.
So it's just a nice little quick pass, and the idea here is that get them thinking about the left side of the field and think about the QB sneak, and then I like to do this. I like to roll out and I like to hit him here.
Oh.
And I like to come back to Davis as a read. And what my first look is I'm trying to hit the slant out by Moss. That's my first look. If the slant out is there, I'll take it all day. If it's not there, I come back to the B receiver. And the natural progression of the play kind of takes, a lot of times it takes the user away from that short spot route, right? It takes the guys over towards the sideline. So that's why I like. It's a nice check down. You roll, and I like that's the slant that was there that time, and that's what I love about this play. Is there's so much that goes into it. I can hit the fade, I can hit the spot route, I can hit the slant, I can run the QB sneak, I can run the power O. It's a lot to handle inside of the red zone. It's a great red zone offense, in my opinion. So that's our first audible.
I like it.
Second audible is another cat and mouse game,
and you will see a lot of cat and mouse coming up in the game of the week.
So the play is halfback stretch. And what I mean by cat and mouse is the following. Single back ace, if you think about it, both these receivers are out wide, obviously. And it just takes longer to motion, and I don't like that. So the ace close formation, I can use these guys to my advantage in blocking in the run game. So what a lot of times I'll do is, I'll motion Crabtree, I do a fake playmaker, make you think, okay, am I going right, am I going left? And I'll use Crabtree as an extra blocker on the right side to try to pick up yards.
Correct.
That's the first setup of it. Then what I'll do is once you get in the habit of me motioning him over there, I will then motion Crabtree. I playmaker the run to the weak side, clear that space out. I go and then I try and get up to the next level that way, right?
Yep.
So now you as your user defender are in a situation of is he trying to get the double team on the right or is he trying to get the isolation on the left? And it can work to your advantage a lot of different ways. Like now, Farls doesn't know which way I went. He has no idea. He's guessing. He guessed right. So kudos to Farls. So
that's a me thing, though.
I'm not. Let's just see how it goes here. Let's see if you can get in my own head. Farls is going to try and get in my own head. That time, Farls, did you guess right there?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you though?
Gibbs, you're so predictable.
Am I?
I predicted that you'd wear a dumb jacket and a scarf today.
Yeah?
Yep.
Well,
so I was pretty much right.
Here you go again. Yeah.
You wouldn't do it again, would you? You won! Dante! Dante's Peak.
Dante's Peak. Wow. Dante's Inferno.
You wouldn't do it again.
I might do it again. You never know. So that time I didn't and Farls guessed wrong.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I was right.
No, you weren't.
I said you wouldn't do it again.
Yeah, but you went right.
False. I
got
a little bit bottled up. Also, what down is it? You know what I mean? You're definitely at an advantage. I'll get Bruce Willis on you.
Yeah?
Yeah, and Woody Harrelson.
That's the idea, guys, of what you're trying to do with this run is cat and mouse. Which way am I going? Which way did he go? Which way did he go? Which way did he go? And then that time he guessed wrong. And now look at that. Now the lane's wide open.
Bruce Willis, though, is like no yards.
That's the idea of how you want to run the stretch. Get them guessing. Make sure that they're always a second late in their step. And it works better against certain people. You'll see it works really well against SDWhite the Great. Now, what I also like about this formation is, can you just stay in a two-man under?
I am staying in two-man under.
Fine. Stop wiggling your guys.
I am baselining.
Okay.
All right.
So what I like about this is you get misaligned with the inside receivers. So you see X and B. See how they're misaligned? Love that. That means I can throw inside pass leads to them all day. And then I love the underneath combination of the tight ends. You can zig, you can drag, you can slant. I mean, you can do whatever you want with these guys. And that's what I like about it. Is that you have nice short yardage plays. It's almost similar to Gun Heavy Panther. Is it not?
It is, my friend.
I mean, it's pretty good. So that's what I like about this formation. It's a good formation overall. I did a weird motion there, but now I catch falls offsides again.
False.
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica. False. That's our second audible. Third audible, again, it's kind of similar where it gives us inside position to the X receiver, B receiver because they're misaligned. But I like this just because I can block both these guys if they're sitting heavy pressure, and I still have a nice way to attack downfield where I can kind of like snap lob it up top, try and get a deep ball in. That's halfback trail, or fullback trail. And another setup that I typically do with this is streak X and B, drag Moss, and I love to put Gore on a wheel and motion him out. He gets right about there, snap, and I like that he hits the sideline. He gets in that, we call it tender spots on the field, and that's the idea with this play. And then you can also complement that with the halfback slip screen. Farl's favorite audible here.
Yeah.
I like to place Gore on a delay, and then Teddy Ballgame Gins on a swing.
Watch this.
Double read. You have a double read progression here. So
I'm going to RB? No, false.
You went to the Gin route, and then I try to hit you underneath to Gore. So here one more time. This happens a lot. You'll see, he goes to the first guy, and then you can hit him in the second layer with Gore and try to get up.
So what's important about this, and I noted this on the last one, and it's hard to explain, but he is the first guy out here. He gets too far outside so that the blockers don't really pick him up outside. So if I have a guy outside those blockers to the sideline, you got to throw back inside. But if my guy gets caught, you can catch it outside, and then you do a back cut in towards the like 30-yard line marker.
Right.
And it's perfect. If they user him, then obviously you're going to have extra, blockers for the guy on the inside, blue route that you did, and then you got him. So he's not just a decoy. You can actually throw it to him, but you got to make sure there's nothing outside because he's unprotected when he first catches it. But you can really loop back in by the defenders to really make damage.
Like it. Let's see. Slip screen one more time. There it is again, and it depends. Where does he get out there? That time they didn't get out there, and then I kind of wait and wait, and that's Teddy Ballgame again. Teddy Ballgame again. That's how you set that up. That's just a good formation because you get that inside position of the guys misaligned. It causes problems for people. And the last play is verticals, and I like this play for a home run hit. I love the route that goes to a receiver. Against a lot of defenses, as you can see, again, we call it a tender spot. It gets that spot on the field that it's awkward to defend. And I think a lot of times that defender, I say gets lost in translation. What I mean by that is it's difficult for defenses to kind of track the A route where it kind of seems like all of the routes are going far left sideline. And then kind of A just kind of sneaks out of nowhere, and then you can just kind of bomb it to him like that. I really love that route.
A is really good.
Yeah.
Let me go like more of a little bit more downfield, more of like a coverage style defense, because he rolls left and then he kind of like throws back right. It's pretty nice.
Right. I'm gonna roll left, and you send gastric there, but then you get that. That's just like a. I don't know. I like it as a shot play. This is a really good play.
Well, because look at all the action that happens to the left, and you'll see, or to the right. But you'll see later in the game, Gibbs hits a very nice sideline pass to. It's actually again not Crabtree, but where the X route, he hits a nice pass on the sideline. And he kind of rolls out there. Later in the game, he scrambles with Kaepernick for one. So you're doing a lot of work from the left. And you'll eventually see the A route. I know he tried one, but
you also have that Crabtree route.
And when you roll, Crabtree kind of stays left to the sideline, depending on the hash. So just try. That's something they got to look out for.
So yeah, it's a nice play a shot to take deep. That's why I like it. attacks a different part of the field than the rest of our offense because that play attacks left sideline, left seam, and then it attacks right seam, which is kind of awkward to defend.
For sure.
In my opinion. So that's the scheme. It's a nice little, we didn't get to all the mini scheme parts of it, but hey, that's, he gave you the 5 audibles, he gave you the base play.
Concept of a great base play. We gave you ideas on how to defend that, and then a full nice defensive scheme. Remember, send me the sheet of your 5 steps that we taught you on defense, your 5 setups, first person, ZFarls&SGibs.com. Check me out. We are about to lock up in the game of the week. SGibs, San Francisco 49ers against SDWhite the Great as the Green Bay Packers. A good battle. And you'll see the drag cross-ups he uses. You'll see the defense we employed. Not the bear one, but we used the dime one that we showed where we kind of motioned the guys. You'll hear us talk about it. So we recorded it and we talked, but then we actually revoiced it over. So you'll see us in the bottom right-hand corner talking, but that's not our voice. Our voice is, we came back the next day to do it. So right now we are playing in the Virgin Gaming Challenge Series. We're in Orlando for NCAA football. And
Rivers is out.
Apparently Philip Rivers got busted. So we will
Hopefully
see
I just
you
tweeted that I won.
on the game of the week. Yeah, and stay tuned. Check our Twitters, at Madden Bible, at SGibs7, because we'll update you guys on
Go Pats!
NCAA football and on the Virgin Gaming Challenge Series. So see you in Vegas. Lock up. All right, so here we are in the game of the week. Gibbs is just setting his audibles up. And the reason you don't see me is because we actually voiced over this so that we could go back in and talk a little bit more about what we saw when the game was actually happening.
Yeah, the real reason, though, is because we lost our audio when we first recorded it. So it's actually going to work out better because we can explain a little bit more about what happened.
So Gibbs is taking on SDWhite the Great. He's going to be using the Houston Texans scheme that we just showed on the tips portion of This Week in Madden. So he's setting up his audibles, and some real keys here is SDWhite the Great uses the Green Bay Packers in this matchup. So Gibbs was kind of ready. Thankfully, we showed you guys how to defend something like the wheels and the fades with plays like Pat's wheel drag. And this is kind of what we're going to be ready to defend in this game. So you'll see some problems that we do have defending it, and then how we make adjustments later in the game to stop it. Now, our audio will be off from what our picture looks like in the bottom corner, but for the most part, we're going to be saying similar to what we broke down during the game, and I think it'll actually really help you guys out to see it. So let's take a look at the first play coming up here. Gibbs just finishing setting up his audibles real quick, popping in the fullback trail.
Yeah, so what you're going to see SDWhite the Great's going to run here is he's going to use the Carolina Playbook, and a primary base of his offense is single back tight slots, drag cross-ups. Now, drag cross-ups is one of the better passing plays in the game. It's similar to Pat's wheel drag in the fact that it's got 2 wheel patterns, and the 2 wheel patterns on this play make it extremely difficult to defend downfield, especially on PlayStation 3 where there's the no press on the left side of the field. So what you see a lot of guys do, exactly what we showed earlier on TWIM in the tips portion of the show, is how difficult it is to defend the streaks over the middle of the field. In combination with double wheels on the outside, you're going to see the problem it causes, not just for an average player, but for someone like me or someone like Farley. It's a problem for everybody. But
so
here's
Gibbs
the kickoff.
Gets the kick, and he's going to choose to kick off the ball.
So there's the kick.
Short kick.
It is a short kick, and I was able to. I don't like, not me, but SDWhite the Great has the same opinion as me there, as he doesn't want to let a kick return beat him. So you see he kicked off short there. So here I am. I'm just want to get the feelers out to see kind of how he plays in his defense. So I start the game maybe pretty conservatively here.
So he comes out in bench because it allowed him to get to his base play that we just showed you. He's actually going to audible down to the run play. He's going to motion the guy left across the formation, hop route it, get the extra blocker, and run. Now, this was a chess match all game that will keep you filled in on what exactly we think he's going to do.
So, yeah, coming up here, I think I checked down to QB sneak because I just want to get the first down, and we talked about this on the tips portion of the show. Love the QB sneak this year right now. I mean, for short yard situations, it's great. You see I move the chains. Now I get a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10.
Ironically,
a couple hours later, I played SDWhite the Great, and I ran 3 QB sneaks on 2nd and 1, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, and didn't get it, and I goofed up the clock. So be careful.
That's funny. But so now you're going to see here. This time I run the halfback stretch, and I did that, the mind game where I motioned the receiver, and then I did the fake playmaker, and playmaker the run back to the left side. And this is just kind of the cat and mouse game that you can use with this ace close stretch. And you're going to see I'm going to do it again here. So there's the motion, but this time I'm going to run the run to the strong side where the motion guy is, and I get a big run, nice swoop there. Lamb J is one of the better backs in the game, in my opinion.
So notice there, he brought the extra blocker over. He didn't get an extra defender to come with the blocker, so he actually moved it left and snapped it. So he got an extra blocker and was able to really hold the edge. That's what I'm telling you guys down in the bottom right-hand corner right now, how impressed I was with his gameplay. So here, once again, going to come out in a formation. He's going to audible back down to the run formation, and let's see what he does here.
So first and foremost, what I'm seeing here is I noticed he wasn't really paying attention that much to the run overall. He wasn't really committing a lot of guys to stop the run. And then I also noticed on this first play, I noticed that the defensive back he had on the far left of the screen stayed back. Right? He didn't call press coverage. He didn't bring them up. So I immediately thought, well, maybe I have a shot, on a curl flat option. And I kept that in the back of my mind for later in the game. So now we're going to run wide receiver cross, see if we can get anyone open. And that was a tough throw. I don't know what I was thinking there.
We really noticed that he was in a bare front and he was weak to the left side. That's why he kept running it. But this is one of the best play calls I've seen Gibs make this season. And he actually, this guy hit me with it later twice. So watch what SGibs does here. Explain what happens.
So it all started from that first down read. I noticed that he was in the bare front, and bare front can be weak to the left side, especially there's no cover 2 sync. And I noticed that when I motioned the receiver over, he didn't respect the fact that I could run a curl flat. So what I did, I said, okay, I'm going to run my curl flat option and throw the touchdown. And that all stemmed from that first read on first down. And here's the important thing that you guys need to know at home. So first down, I was running the ball, but I still paid attention to what the defense was doing, like a pass defense, so that it could benefit me later on in the game. It actually benefited me 2 plays later for a touchdown.
So that's what he's explaining to us down in the bottom right-hand corner. And you'll see our emotions down there, but we are just voicing this over after so that we can get a good look at what's going on. The keys that I like here, Gibbs is going to do another short kickoff, and he's going to try and lower the boom if he can.
I don't like to get beat deep, so what I do is I move the
boom, jumps
all the way
into
over.
A Deshaun Goldson hit stick, and not a great idea, but fortunately no damage done. So Gibbs, I'm pretty sure he knew he was facing Carolina, and I know he was using St. Louis defense, the other guy. So we were kind of thinking, what is he going to run from Carolina? And we had an idea. So we came out in dime, and we really tried to show you that defense that we worked on earlier in the game. He didn't get his subs in there, so he had to take a timeout to get everything situated.
And I had a lot of success running the dime defense out of the break. In no-huddle situations, I struggled. Because I call it duck speed. He went so fast with his no-huddle and his snaps.
Yeah, the key here on this first drive is to really watch the tempo of SDWhite the Great. It's 7-0 49ers SGibs. SDWhite the Great is the Packers.
So look, I'm able to get my setup in here, right? And I was able to, for the most part, control a lot of what he wanted to do. He completed that pass, but again, I'm okay with that, especially with the 2-man under trail coverage there. And so this is where I start struggling with my setups, is that I lose control of where the safety is, and see how late I am now, and he's already ready to snap the ball. He catches me on alignment, he runs a draw, and that was what's difficult about this offensive scheme compared to patch wheel drag, is the speed at which he can actually throw the ball because he's under center, and also that halfback draw is really effective.
And I noticed that he was using Cedric Benson, which gave him a lot better carry against the 49ers defense. Early in the game when you're being conservative and you need those certain plays, you need a guy you can hang on to the rock. I like that he went with Cedric Benson. I think later he does change backs.
So here actually I was able to get my setup in, and now you can see I defended better. Unfortunately, I was in position there but didn't make the play, but you can see how
I can see the pain on your face at the bottom right-hand corner. You had the user there. You kind of baited him into the throw, but you got stuck behind the play, unfortunately.
So here's a new theory in the red zone, and this kind of came up with this theory a little bit with Zan. Zan was reading a post, I forget who the guy was, but it talks about the best defense in the red zone area in football is a cover zero. There's no point to have a deep safeties. You want to just send the house and just make your opponent make a quick read. So that's kind of what I was thinking on that first play. And then I think I do the same thing again here, and I get the stop. Now it's 3rd down, and now he's really stressing to get in the end zone here.
So big 3rd and 5 here for SDWhite the Great. He's down 7, and Gibbs looks like he's dropping a couple guys back on the defensive line. Actually sending pressure. Stops him on the 1-yard line.
Interesting decision here. What do you think? I think he should kick here.
So he goes for it on 4th and 1. Note your flat defender that you place out here real quick.
Yeah. But the thing that I care about the most, that was a defender that I dropped into a flat with a quick hot route. I left the middle of the field open and said I'm going to try and user it, and I covered both flats, and it paid off. I mean, he missed the throw, but still.
What's your thoughts here on going downfield?
I'm going to try and hit him quick because I think that a lot of times guys get really aggressive in this situation. On the 1-yard line, they're pressed back, so I check down to one of my favorite passing plays, mesh. And if I see Ted Ginn has a beat downfield, I'm lobbing it to him, and I did. I got a big gain with that Teddy ball game Gins, and he's gone. He's just gone. That's a huge momentum.
So a huge play. So a 14-point swing pretty much, and now it's 14-0 SGibs, 49ers over SDWhite the Great Packers. Just a huge, huge, huge play. There's a couple different ways you can play that. You know, if you run the ball and you get a safety, you said maybe I should have bombed it deep. If he drops everybody back and just kind of lets you slowly out, maybe you say I shouldn't have thrown it deep. So there's a lot of different things, but the click on there by Ginn was great, and knowing that you had a guy with that speed, knowing how to pass protect in the end zone and going deep.
See, I think if I'm playing a regular ranked online game, right, I probably do what SDWhite the Great did there. I'd probably take my chances to try and get a touchdown, right? But if I'm in a Madden challenge game, if I'm in a big game against a good opponent, I'm taking the 3 there in the early stages of the game because I want to feel good about a drive. I want to get points on the board. And you can see how quickly things can turn. Now it's 14-0, and now he's playing from behind.
Yeah, I think there's a point coming up where you almost get an interception that would have skunked at 21-0. So it's very important to maybe get some points on the board, but I know he was on the 1-yard line, but I just didn't feel like he had a play that he wanted.
And there's the D. First down, defense works. The setup works. Now I struggle. Everyone's back. I can't find my defenders. So now I get Whitner into position. I'm kind of struggling here. I sort of get it in. I actually get it in pretty good. But now I think I get beat here in the right flat. I think. Yeah, to the right wheel. No. What happened there?
You looked like it was going to be the right wheel, but he actually snuck Benson out of the backfield for a big gain.
Yeah, nice play. Nice adjustment because he probably saw that I was dropping the middle linebacker off of the halfback. So that was a good adjustment by SDWhite.
And, you'll take your chances with a Cedric Benson throw out of the backfield rather than getting beat deep to the wheel.
So here I switched up my setup, and he called a nice draw. That was a really nice draw.
So what were you thinking with the setup there?
Because I was on the left hash, I want to set it up so that I can stop the right wheel in thinking that he's going to try and run the ball.
More field over there.
Right. So now he's a big-time struggle. That's a big-time struggle to set up, even though he didn't run the ball. You can see that the speed of his offense now is starting to affect my setups. Look how late I am. I'm trying to find Goldson. Where is he?
So we have a 3rd and 3 here.
I'm always out of position. You see how I'm out of position there? And it's just tough.
So a quick wheel throw there gives him a 1st down for Randall Cobb.
So what I would like to see me do here is I would like to see me, instead of trying to drop the safeties and blitz, I would like to see me just drop two purples on the DNs. And I know, Farles, you have a good amount of success with that, dropping the purples against that play on the DNs.
Yeah, I think, what had happened to me is that bench route right there he had gone to. So I was doing a great job getting guys manned up on the inside guys, but that bench route is going to beat man-to-man to the outside.
It's
so
a nice compliment to this offense.
Then I kind of had to bring in the safety, and then if they go deep, you can be in trouble. So it was a good match.
He ran some timely draws. That one didn't get him too many yards, but the thing about the draw is it makes you think. It makes you say, hey, I don't know if I want to
drop that guy maybe.
Let's see my setups here.
And notice he's got Benson out of the game now.
And tough.
So Brock was over there on the wheel, and that's what makes the wheel tough is just not defending.
See, what happened there is I brought it left, but I didn't get my safety over left to defend that wheel. And that's the difficult of this part of this offense.
So we're now back in the red zone here.
Draw.
And the draw is going to work out
for the bread
for 26 now.
That was a nice drive by SDWhite. He complimented everything he did well. I like that he mixed in the bench. When you run this offense, that he's running, it's a great compliment to use that bench play. And the thing is, you got to use it at the right time. And he seemed to, throughout the course of this game, he seemed to use that play at all the right times.
So it's 14-7. SGibs 49ers are up by 7 over SDWhite the Great. And he's going to kick off here. I think he kicks deep.
I think he does. I think he kicks short.
Kicks short here.
He kicks short for the majority of the game until there's one big point later in the game where he made a big mistake kicking deep. But now in this drive, again, I'm thinking I wanna keep doing what I'm doing. He hasn't been able to stop me on offense. I want to kind of get back to the run game. The run game's been doing me well, so let's get back to the run game. Let's try and do the reverse psychology here. That time I quick snapped them. Because if you notice, the other times I was running that play, I would always use a motion and a playmaker. So this time I'm thinking, let's change the pace. Let's do something that he hasn't seen yet and just snap, go right to it. And I think I caught him off guard there.
So here you actually go to single back bunch for the first time. I think you hit a wheel route on the sideline.
What I like about this play is I like that it gives me a shot deep to target. I love Randy Moss on this deep post. I think he does a really good job at getting open, but this time Ginn was able to get down the sideline.
So a great roll left, a tender throw, but you're able to fit it in, and you kind of waited. That window clears out everything for Ginn, who takes a little bit delayed to get there on the wheel. So a nice throw. Still 14-7.
I would like to see me. I know I passed it here, but I would like to see a draw there. I mean, obviously I got a touchdown.
He brought a lot of heat.
He did, but I would like to see. I mean,
the key there is really picking up the halfback. You blocked the halfback. A guy got through the halfback, cleared him. Ginn hit the wheel and was able to pick up the touchdown. 21-7 S-Gibs right now.
The reason that you might say, well, you got a touchdown. Why would you want to call a run and do something different? You got a touchdown. I like to control the pace of a game a little bit more. I felt like I scored really quick there. I didn't. Scoring points is great, but you also want to control the clock a little bit. And I think that's what things like running the ball, using draws, they help you command the game a little bit more because you control the clock. And so we are now at the 2-minute warning of this game. So there's only 2 minutes left in the first half right now. It's important to try and get a stop here. What do they always say? Great teams score right before the half.
Yep.
So that defensively, you got to think stop them.
Because what's very important is he gets the ball after half.
Right.
No, you do.
No, he does.
He does. So
it's
he gets
a big
the ball
for him.
So if he scores, oh my goodness.
And
here's what happened right here. I say the left slot was absolutely wide open. So the streak in the left slot was for a touchdown. So I say, listen, I'm watching myself talk, and I say, he thinks, a bad player thinks I'm going to come back out and throw the streak in the slot because he missed it. But a good player says, uh-oh, I got lucky right there. I'm going to fix that because he's going to come out and do it. Here, he throws it in the slot.
Same spot, but I was ready for it.
Yep. So you're actually ready for it that time. And he kind of just had a one-play read, and you kind of are saying right here that you thought he should have maybe had more than just one read on that play. It seems like he was kind of locked in there.
He was locked in because on the previous play, he was thinking that is open. I'm going to go to that. And, that's just a tendency that people have.
Huge 3rd and 10 right here.
Big third down. Big third down for SDWhite. And he gets a huge conversion over the middle. He hits me with something I haven't seen. And that previous first down blitz was something similar to what I was saying before about the halfback stretch, where I quick snapped him. I was just trying to throw something at him differently that he hadn't seen. And that's a huge thing a lot of times.
So there's the tender slot again. And we take a timeout. So time is ticking down. It's 21-7, so a huge drive here for SDWhite Great if he can get some points because he gets the ball at the end of the half, can bop it down to a one-score game and have ball.
And what I'm thinking here is I'm starting to get frustrated in the fact that I'm not getting my setups in to stop it. I like the draw there. It helps him command that clock that is ever so tender right now, but I like that draw call. And I'm just starting to struggle with a solid way to get setups in to try and stop what he's doing because the speed at which he's calling these plays is ridiculous.
And James Starks goes all the way off the edge here for a touchdown.
Big draw.
So he's used 3 different running backs in 3 different roles. That was a nice draw and a way to get it outside. Starks usually doesn't break it from there.
I almost feel like he used Starks in that possession because he felt like he wanted to pass to Starks.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good role to use.
And Starks, I think, actually drops one for him later. So it's interesting that Benson was catching, Starks was running, but, I mean, it all worked out.
So now I have time here to try and get some points on the board. So he kicks short, and I think a fair catch. No way I want to take a hit stick there. So how much time's left? Can you see that?
I can't see, but I believe you don't have any timeouts left. There's not a ton of time left. But I think you're going to try to work the ball downfield here.
Yeah, I got a couple plays where I feel confident in going downfield. I hit him deep with Ginn earlier in the game, so let's see what I got here. I scramble with Cap, get down, no huddle, no huddle.
Yeah, that play hurt you a bit.
Goal.
You almost had square there, but you didn't want to force the throw, it looked like. So here you come back down to your base play.
Thinking field goal. That's what I need. So I run that ever so popular drag, streak, and
great play here.
yeah, you like this. Why?
Because you got to the flat, you got a first down, you got out of bounds, and you kind of said, I know I've been throwing downfield on you, but I can also just dink it out to James, and you're going to have to worry about your alignment and where your guys are. So here you come down again to another solid two-back play. You motion out James.
A shot deep.
Nice throw to Big Vern.
Do I have a timeout? I thought I had a timeout.
I think you might have one timeout left. I think you used it a little earlier, but that's a huge throw to Vernon. So now you're in field goal range, and now you actually run the ball, which I do not like in this situation.
No, there was more time than you thought. And
there is, but I still don't like this run. There's like 30 seconds left, and now you're kind of stuck once again, 2nd and 2, kind of no man's land. I don't like maybe that style run right there. I remember you running that, and I'm like, because now it's like 28 seconds. Now it's getting real
tender.
Now it's getting close.
So I go back to this Moss shot play, and I hit.
And that's why it's perfect, because you get to the sideline. Now you have, I think you have about 18 seconds left right now, and you have 4 shots to the end zone. So you have about plenty of time.
Yeah, this is a tough spot in the field, right here, because you can't really run it.
You can't run it with the time. You can't run it with
the
the time situation. I think you.
I tried to run it, I think.
Maybe this is one I didn't like when you ran it.
Yeah, you don't like this run. I thought I could punch it in, and I got block shitted off the edge.
And so
but
now
I thought I could punch it in.
So you had one timeout left.
And I use it there. And I think there's like 13 seconds.
Yeah, so you have 3 plays. Look at my face in the bottom right-hand corner. I'm like,
you're not happy with that play call?
If it had worked, if it worked, I would have liked it.
Yeah.
So it's still 21-14.
You know what? I make a terrible decision here. Coming up, I make a terrible, terrible decision. I think I try and force an out in. Terrible. It could have
been an interception. Could have been a pick 6 right before the half.
But this was a good decision. That was
a great play.
8 seconds left now.
Here's why. There's 8 seconds left in this game. If Gibbs had kept waiting, and then thrown the ball away, 2 seconds left, has to kick a field goal. Now, his initial 2-second reads on that play from 12 seconds to 8 seconds didn't work out. So he got rid of the ball right away and said, now I have one more play before I have to kick the field goal potentially. So very important to just not waste time and stand there, because a lot of people would say, well, I'm going to playmaker. I'm going to stand there. He's not rushing anybody. No. Your initial burst didn't work. Oh!
Bad read. That's my one thing I would take back from this game right there.
So he didn't have a flat route out there, and that just didn't lend him to...
There's no reason for that. That was a lapse of judgment. That was a bad read. That was
4 seconds left here. He takes the field goal. He goes up 24-14 at half.
Field goal was important there.
So, but still, throwing away that ball was one of the smartest things I've seen you do. It was
then followed by one of the dumbest things I could have done.
It's like,
right?
It's like everyone says nothing good happens after midnight.
Nothing ever good.
Nothing ever good in the red zone happens. Here, you tell me how you like to hit the guy with the ball.
Yeah.
And then it worked out.
You do a squib and just flick it and let it go, and then it hits the guy sometimes, and then you can hit stick him.
So, it's now halftime. SGibs is the 49ers 24. SDWhite the Great is the Packers 14.
It's a good kickoff here. I'm going to try and get a hit stick in here. I think he smartens up there. That was a nice, fair catch there because he was about to get lit up like a Christmas tree.
Lit up.
Dough. So now, 10-point lead. I feel good, but you can see I'm starting to abandon that dime because I'm adapting. I'm realizing, hey, I can't get these setups in. And he absolutely tortures me here with this setup. Watch this. I felt good, and then just lights me up with his reads here. And
Starks drops it, so that's what I was saying there. Interesting that Starks laid one down.
So I think this is the play he lights me up. I think he read, again, I think he saw on this play that the left slot was open from the previous play. So then he does the same thing he did previously, but I think it works out better for him here. He reads that he's open, and he gives it to him.
Yeah, what? And notes. So I said he was on a post. You said he was on a streak, and he threw it with pass lead. That was a post, because he runs it later.
Was it?
Yeah.
So that was halfback wheel then?
Must have been, because it's similar to...
Might have been halfback wheel.
Yeah.
Were there slants in there, like over the middle? Might have been. I don't know. We'll have to
I
go
think
back.
the way your purple zone was, it was going like sideways instead of going like back and left.
Yeah.
And it left the tender area. So it's now 24-21 SDWhite the Great. So a huge field goal before the half for SGibs to keep him up 3 points.
So another sideline kick. So he doesn't want to give up the big return, which is smart. I like that. And he's staying consistent with that. And now, again, I feel confident on offense. He hasn't proved that he can stop me once.
I think
So
your running game is
I'm
really strong at this point. You have a lot of good statistics.
Lamb J's a beast. But that's what I like about the ace close is that you can play reverse psychology. He gasses me up here, but a nice play by Crabtree.
So perfect underneath drag to really just alleviate a lot of the pressure.
Crabtree has become one of the best receivers in the game.
Yeah?
Great catching traffic. He's got some size. He's a good route runner. 90 catching traffic is huge.
So you got a good tempo going. I know you wanted to control the clock, but you just felt like, what'd you think?
Well, I felt that, that's what you see me do here. A lot of times I do fake hot routes and then knowing I want to go somewhere because I want to make him
You
think.
wanted to run, but you wanted to think you might pass.
Right. And there I try and use the fake, the fake motion run. And the key to that fake motion run that we talked about in the tips portion of the show is you're making your opponent slow in how they react to that run. And that one slow step allows you to get the 7-yard run like I just had there. A little scramble here with the Cappy.
Perfect scramble.
Get out of bounds. Put the ball in the opposite hand. That's very important because if you do fumble, you're fumbling out of bounds, hopefully. That's the idea with that.
The best part about us voicing this over is we don't have to listen to you sing.
I didn't sing at all on this game.
You did in the bottom right. You'll see yourself sing a couple times.
I did?
You were yelling something, bananas. All right, here we go. Bunch left. So you
I
like...
think I go House Moss here. No? What do I
No.
do? Patience?
Patience.
Oh, I had a great playmaker patience here.
Yes,
Look at
yes.
this patience.
Watch this. I'll tell you who I think is open. Ready? Right now I think Square's open, but he doesn't throw it to right.
vision.
Or no.
Vision, right. Boop.
There. Super tight.
Ginn. Ginn's a playmaker guy.
Gibbs
He's
impressed with
loved
himself
him.
in the bottom right-hand corner.
Yeah. As I touch my beard.
Yeah, I was saying I thought he had
Back here's
circle
nice.
open initially, but he didn't throw it because sometimes when they get to the sideline, they cut back.
And I'm again in that tender spot of the field. I hate the tender spot. And I run a couple halfback dives, halfback draws, and you're about to see QB sneak, I think.
Notice how long this drive's taken after the half. SDWhite the Great got some momentum. They're
Tempo.
up 3.
You could go no huddle, but have a slow tempo.
Yeah.
And here's my playmaker again. He's got to be thinking. If you take a look at his user guy there, his first step was right. Keep that in mind. Here is why you have QB sneak in your audibles, boys and girls.
Yeah,
Because if you get this matchup,
one guy down.
I'll
guy
take
down.
it. Man down. Take it for a touchdown. 4-yard QB sneak.
He's very
like
impressed
that?
with himself.
Love it. How do you not like that? I caught him in the defense and I stuck it in there with QB sneak.
Pretty
Love it.
good.
From the
Pretty
4-yard
good.
line.
Pretty good.
How do you not like that?
Third down.
Third
Yeah.
down, man down.
We'll take it.
So I'll kick off short again here. Always kick off short. I'm not letting a guy get a kick return on me. I won't do it. Won't do it.
No way. No how. It's now 31-21 SGibs over SDWhite the Great. Get the hit stick. But
Those
Jay
pay dividends. Those pay dividends.
They add up, I think,
They
like
do.
body punches.
What's
in a
your
fight.
theory? If you have 250 hit points, hit power?
Yeah, if you have 3 guys converge on one ball carrier and he has it's a combined 230 hit powers or more, Fumbarooski.
I don't know if that's real. So I get my setup in here. Let's see if I can defend it. I feel good right here on this setup. I got everything in. And look-
No.
yeah.
No, left slot was
But-
wide open for a
but
touchdown.
The idea is
The pressure's going to get there.
pressure gets there. Guys are covered. He has to think. And now here's where I struggle. I struggle here. So looking back on this game, see, I change up my style. I can see that I'm not going to get the pressure setup in.
Good
He hits me with
bench.
bench. See, he ran bench. Perfect timing.
And that's a bonus to him because I think earlier in the game he thought, okay, the slot was open, it might be open here. Whereas here, he knew that you just dropped that guy straight back and didn't do it and were able to actually get outside left.
In his tempo, again, is just duck speed. Duck speed. He goes so fast.
So there's 2 different. There's a no huddle, which means you don't huddle. But then there's hurry up offense. This is hurry up.
This is hurry
Where
up.
SGibs is no huddle. He doesn't go back to the huddle, but he doesn't necessarily hurry up.
And I kind of take a little more time.
Correct.
Whereas, did he drop that there? He dropped that, right?
Yeah.
So here comes
Second and 10.
Out of the break, I go back to the dime. I feel confident out of breaks to get the setups in. But what I would like to see me do more do more of is during the no huddle, I would need to change it up and go to a defense I feel confident I can get set up in. And that's something I need to go back and adjust against because without a doubt, I'm going to face something like this again. And here he goes to a new look, which is interesting. He went to a screen, and I sniff it out, and I stick
And
on
you
him
didn't
with
go
Willis.
for the hit stick.
Didn't go
You
for the hit stick.
stuck with him with Willis.
Use the assist.
I was
stick on
impressed.
him.
I was impressed.
So now we get a big third down. I believe it's third down, correct?
Correct.
And I'm sloppy my setups again. It's frustrating. It's real.
Oh, and you thought the ball went through Justin Smith's hand.
It went through Justin Smith's hand. Can't be happy with that. I wasn't happy with that. That was sloppy. And once again, though, my setup, I didn't get it in.
But, I mean, what's nice about that is he needed a big conversion, and he'd been stressing you on the outside. Stressing you on the outsides, pops one guy over the middle. He's now done that twice to get conversions on big downs.
So here goes single back ace. I know he wants to run left. That's why he motioned him over there. And I get over there. And I dive there to prevent him from getting upfield to get those extra 3 or 4 yards he had there. Because I know I had support. The sideline was there. That's like a tender, where you want to dive to take a guy down. If you ever experienced that.
Been there,
done that. Did you buy the T-shirt?
So here you actually got a guy manned up incorrectly.
Awkward. So I reman Willis up on him, you can see, and then I don't even know what that guy's doing. But that was awkward.
And so, I mean, he has no idea that things are weird.
One bad thing is
runs it.
One thing that's nice about not playing
big third down right here
is I had no idea if that was a head-to-head game. I would have had no idea.
Yeah.
So playing online, that's nice.
So third down, he runs it.
Great run.
You knife through with Whitner, and now you got a big fourth down. And it's
I think he kicks it here.
Yeah, he kicks a long field goal, I believe.
Smart kick. A lot of guys. A lot of.
It's just about to be the start of the fourth quarter.
A lot of top-tier guys I feel are very aggressive, and they go for it a lot. There's no reason to go for it here. You kick it.
You need to get a stop either way.
You kick it and go down to 7, right? I mean, what does it matter going down?
So it's the fourth quarter, 3 minutes, 57 seconds left. The score is 31.
And he makes a huge mistake.
31-24.
He kicks it deep. He hasn't kicked deep all game, and guess what I do? I make him pay.
With Teddy, big bad ball game kid.
Pay.
Huge.
Oh, I lab special teams. Don't think I don't.
Put it up. Whoop.
Don't think I don't.
We were pretty excited in the bottom right-hand corner. That's a big play.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like the Ray Lewis.
Oh.
38-24.
I was thinking more, I think LeBron James throw up or Michael Jordan throw up the chalk.
So, do you think he kicked deep because he got it back within one score and was like, I can't give him a short field?
I think he kicked it deep by lapse of judgment, but we'll have to figure out. Because sometimes that happens. You just kick it.
So 38-24.
That was a big mistake. Whatever that was, I don't think he meant to kick it deep, honestly. I think that was a mistake.
Now you back up a full 2 touchdowns instead of...
Give me a hit stick. Boop.
And so this is what we talked about on this drive.
I need a long drive.
If somebody has a very good play like this, and even though we've labbed to stop it, and we're doing a good job slowing it down, we're doing a good job making them think and making them do different things, you got to get one stop. So it's all about getting 1 or 2 stops. I think you got 1 stop earlier.
On fourth down.
And now it's about getting...
I was very close there. I'll live with that.
Second stop. And you just went up 2 scores, and now it's time for this to work out. Now you've seen that, okay, he can go over the middle. Okay, he can call bench. He likes to run the draw. Now you kind of know what his full arsenal, besides just that one play. Nobody runs just one play, even though we say they'd run just one play.
Right.
And now is that time. So it's first down. It's about 3 minutes left in the game. You're up 38-24. Time to go. So you do the blitz.
Do my blitz. Good pressure.
He had the halfback wide open.
That's part of it. That's part of I mean, you gotta. The tough thing about playing under center. This is a great play. But the tough thing about under center is I think you're more apt to miss reads. Whereas if you play and I gassed him up there. I gassed him up, and he missed it.
Tough little click on. I mean, there's a guy near us.
He missed it, and so that's two missed opportunities there. And whether people want to admit to it or not, in the fourth quarter, down 14, this time to go, you start to feel the pressure.
Yeah, because you know you got to score.
Right, you know you got to score. You start to feel the pressure, and
he can't take a field goal here.
He comes out, and this I didn't like this. He knew he could beat me with these other play. I didn't like this changeup.
Stick with what was working.
Stick with what's
It's
working.
5 for 7 on third downs.
Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't like this third down play call that he had. But I mean, I kind of knew he wanted
Great
to stick
inside outside on Jordy.
And I kind of knew that the tight end was his primary guy because he had two guys on the right side of the field. If I play 2 and under, I'm going to take them out of the equation. So now he goes back to drag cross-ups. I don't know. I just didn't. I felt like that third down. He wanted that third down back, and it finally paid off. There, the streaks were taken away.
Yep.
Because of 2 and under, and I sat on that route. So now 4th down, big down.
So you lock them up on 4th down. You got about 3 minutes left. You're up 2 scores. Now you're thinking, salt the game away if you can.
Most cases here, I would just take the game out. I wouldn't pass. I would just run it out. You know, I wouldn't try and put more points on the board. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you're twimming a little for the fans.
Sure, for the fans. But
there was a point where I asked for a 50 burger because I knew people in the chat would be like, get 50 because I know you get some more here.
Yeah, so but the idea, you know, what I would want to normally do if there's a big time game, I would just try and run the clock out here, eat the clock, not pass, be safe, and then punt if I needed to. That's just how I would play it. But for the fans at home, you know, we try and put on a show. So here I'm going to run the ball a little bit here. I didn't pass at all out of this formation, which I thought, you know, I liked.
There you actually get him to run commit the wrong way.
Yeah.
Doesn't burn him, but very interesting there.
He had a guess.
That the entire chess match game of you motioning, you playmaking, you doing all this and that. And then it leads to that. When it's a high risk, high reward, he needs something.
He doesn't know.
Then he's got to get aggressive, and he gets wrong because it's been a full.
And there, a quick snap on that time.
Great.
That was pretty good. I tried to get inside there. That was pretty good. I liked it.
He takes his other timeout. We're in the 2 minute, right above the 2 minute mark in this game. It is
up 14 at this point.
Up 14, I believe 38-24. And
so this game is all but over. He's got
3rd
no
and 2.
timeouts.
You go down to the QB sneak. And
that's why you love
shuffle forward.
So the game is over at this point. The game is over.
Yeah, the game's over here. We can kneel, but we get a little more magic. I think you might have a great run coming up here.
Do I?
I think so, unless it was a different game.
With Lamb J?
Yeah.
I might have an epic run with Lamb J. You're right. I think I do. And you can see I'm relaxed at this point. I'm sitting back. You know, I know the game's over. Am I running the clock here? I think so, right?
I think you're telling stories about your childhood days.
Oh,
yeah, we took it to the 2 minute warning.
Yeah.
So 2 minute warning.
1st down, no timeouts. The game.
He's got no timeouts. 1st down. Good clock. But
for the fans at home, we extend the game. I'm kind of curious to see what this run is.
I think you have a nice run here.
A real nice run, right?
You can see he dropped the defensive tackle because he popped up.
Yeah. Motion it right. Little boop. Little boop. And then Lamb J takes over. That was a really nice run. So now I go up 21.
Thought I was a little better, but
go up 21, and
that'll do it.
That'll do it. I mean, there's a little more scoring that goes on in this game, but up 21, no timeouts. This game is over.
So make sure you check out the scheme from the earlier part of TWIM today. Really lab it and really check out some of the things that we showed you from it.
And so that's this week in Madden. Show 88.
Trying to get another hit stick. Yep,
show
show 88.
Yeah. So
we are currently playing our Virgin Gaming Challenge Series games.
Shout out though to SDWhite the Great. Appreciate you coming on. Playing on. It's not live and national live internet, but it's the closest thing we had to get there for you this week. But we appreciate you coming out playing, showing us what you got. You're a great player. Great duck speed offense. Love it.
Lock up. Lock up. Lock up.